Assalamu alaikum friends. This is Ajaz Ahmed and welcome to my DocTv. How are you friends? I hope you guys are fine. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe it and hit the bell icon to get my latest video notification. In this class, we are going to learn about tissues. We have classification of tissue, epithelial tissue, types of epithelial tissue, simple epithelium, and the last one is stratified epithelium. Now comes to the classification of tissue. The four major types of body tissues are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue consists of sheets of cells that cover body structures and glands that produce secretions. Connective tissue, which consists of cells in a matrix of amorphous ground substance and fibers, supports the body and binds tissue and organs. Two specialized connective tissues, blood and lymph, contain fluid instead of fibers. Muscle tissue consists of skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle fiber that produce body movements. Nervous tissue consists of neurons and neuroglia that conduct impulses from one part of the body to another part of the body. Epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, nervous tissue. Now the second topic is epithelial tissue. There are two types of epithelial tissue. Epithelial sheets that act as coverings for body structures and glands that produce secretions. Epithelial in skin. Epithelial covering internal tracts. Epithelial covering glands. Now comes to the types of epithelial tissue. In this we have simple and stratified epithelium. Simple epithelium sheets are classified by their number of cell layers and cell shape. Simple epithelium has one cell layer which facilitate absorption and filtration. Based on the shape of its cell, it is classified as simple squamous epithelium, simple cuboidal epithelium, simple columnar epithelium, pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. Stratified epithelium has multiple cell layers which allow it to protect underlying tissues from abrasions. Based on the shape of the cell in its apical layer, it is classified as stratified squamous epithelium, stratified columnar epithelium, stratified cuboidal epithelium, transitional epithelium. The epithelium rests on the basement membrane which separates it from underlying connective tissue. Now comes towards the glands. There are two types of glands, endocrine and exocrine glands. Endocrine glands, such as the adrenal glands, produces hormones and secrete them directly into the bloodstream. Exocrine glands produces sweat, oil, saliva, earwax, digestive enzymes, and other substances, secrete them into ducts and onto the skin or lumen of the hollow organ. Exocrine glands can have one cell or multiple cells. Multicellular glands are classified based on the branching pattern of their ducts. Simple glands are unbranched and compound glands are branched, and the shape of their secretory portions, tubular, acinar, or tubuloacinar. Exocrine glands can also be classified by their methods of secretions. Merocrine glands, such as goblet cells, they are unicellular, secrete their product by releasing secretory vesicles from their apical portion in the process called exocytosis. Apocrine glands, such as mammary glands, it is multicellular, compound, alveolar, secretes their product by releasing some of their apical portion. Holocrine glands, such as sebaceous glands, it is also a multicellular simple acinar, release their product into the duct in a process that destroys the entire cell. Now comes to our fourth topic, simple epithelium. Simple epithelium tissue has one cell layer which facilitate absorption, diffusion, and filtration. Based on the shape of its cells, it is classified as simple squamous epithelium. It has flattened cells with disc-shaped central nuclei and spares like cytoplasm. This structure facilitates diffusion and filtration in the lining of the glomeruli. It is present in kidneys, alveoli, and lungs, and capillaries. This type of epithelium can also be found in the lining of the heart, circulatory and lymphatic vessels, and ventral body cavities. Simple cuboidal epithelium. It has box-shaped cells with a large spherical central nuclei and space for organelles. This structure facilitates secretions and absorption in the tissues. This epithelium forms the tubal walls of the kidney ducts and secretory parts of the small glands and surface of the ovaries. Some simple cuboidal epithelial cells like those in the proximal tubule and kidney nephrons have microvilli on their apical surface, which greatly increase their surface area. Simple columnar epithelium. It has tall column-shaped epithelial cells with round to oval nuclei located in their basal portion. The apical portion of this epithelium can have microvilli or cilia and may contain mucus-secreting goblet cells. The structure of this epithelium facilitates absorption and secretion in the tissues it forms. The non-ciliated type lines the digestive tract, gallbladder, and glands, excretory ducts, and the ciliated type lines small bronchi, the uterine tubes, and parts of the uterus. In most of the digestive system, the apical surfaces are covered with microvilli, which greatly enhance the total surface area. Pseudo-stratified columnar epithelial. It is like simple columnar epithelium, but there are some changes. It has tall column-shaped epithelial cells with round to oval nuclei. Additionally, it may be ciliated and contains mucus-secreting goblet cells. Pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. It is a simple epithelium because it has one layer of epithelial cells all joined to the basement membrane, but it looks like stratified epithelium because its cells vary in height and nucleus location. The structure of this epithelium facilitates absorption and secretion in the tissues it forms. The ciliated type lines the trachea and the most of the upper respiratory tract, and non-ciliated type lines the male reproductive ducts. Now comes to our last final topic of this class: stratified epithelial tissues. Stratified epithelium has multi-cell layer which allow it to protect underlying tissues from abrasions. Based on the shape of the cells on the apical surface, it is classified as stratified squamous epithelium. It has several cell layers with metabolically active cuboidal or columnar basal cells and flattened surface cells that protect underlying tissues from abrasions. The keratinized type forms the epidermis of the skin, and non-keratinized type lines the esophagus, mouth, vagina, and cornea. Stratified cuboidal epithelium. It has more than one layer of cube-shaped cells that line and protect the largest ducts of salivary glands, mammary glands, and sweat glands. Stratified columnar epithelium. It has several cell layers with cuboidal basal cells and elongated columnar apical cells that allow for protection and secretion. This type is rare in the body, with the small amounts in the pharynx, male urethra, and lining of some glandular ducts. So the last is transitional epithelium. It is a different type of epithelium which lines the ureter's bladder and parts of the urethra. Has a cuboidal or columnar basal cells and dome-shaped surface cells that flattens to allow these organs to distend as they fill with urine. The further topics would be explained in next class. If you are willing to learn about human anatomy and physiology, please subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon, like and share to others. See you in next class. Till then, have a healthy life. Stay safe. Khuda Hafiz.